I'm freaking out right now. I have had the most transformative, I can't just say year. It's been such a lead up. Every part of it was so key. I've had the most transformative past, I want to say like 4-ish years. And it's just all been accelerated in the past 6 months to the point that it's all a blur. And I'm so thrilled at the flight that I just now had. I'm here in the San Francisco airport, and I was on an hour-and-a-half flight from Phoenix, and this is how you know when I'm writing and I get something in my heart that I feel like I gotta scream about. My writing goes from
airport security
normal,
like possession of your bags at all times. Please report any suspicious activity or unattended bags by calling 911 on any airport telephone. Thank you for helping keep our airport secure.
So it goes from normal, like this type of thing, to this. So that's how you know. And I basically just want to read this right now and have it vocally recorded because I feel so passionate about this. And I feel like everything in my life has led up to this truth. So here it is. Everything I am doing can be backed by my need to create a ripple of energy in breaking the cycle of women being held back. And my whole little rant here is not about women, but this is where my rant, kind of this like idea process began, was in my very strong beliefs about prejudice against women and all of those things, patriarchy. So when I stay true to any one of my projects, and here's the biggest realization I had, when I stay true to any one of my projects, and I have 5 highly prioritized projects that I began about 2 months ago for this year, so that are going to, actually it's going to be, they're projects that will end on October 13th, 2018, to have almost a full year to complete these projects and conquer any obstacles that come in my way. And one of them is in regards to fitness, and that's one that I touch on in here. So just for a little background behind the scenes. So when I stay true to any one of my projects, I am creating the ripple that can reach others who are feeling disempowered in what they can accomplish, in the cycles they've felt imprisoned within their entire lives, and in many cases the lives of their too excited here. And in many cases, the lives of their line before them. So we get in these patterns, these ways of being, these cycles where we are habitually living our lives, and they may not even have to do just with our own lives, but also our ancestors, our whole line. Who knows when it began? And we start out. So let's say my great grandfather went through a trauma as a child, which caused him to become really depressed because he wasn't able to process it, because his mind was still forming and so young, and he didn't know how to process it, and so he internalized it, and then he grew up to be a man with that same childhood trauma living inside of him, and it actually affected the way that his body deformed and aged. And so there was the physical side, which he passed down in his genes to his children. And then there was also the nurturing side, the mental and emotional and spiritual side that he nourished into his children that passed on that trauma as well. So there was physical, mental, emotional, all of these different sides that were nourished in this trauma subconsciously, and were passed on to his children and their children and their children. It creates this cycle of being, and we live in this habitual way, and instead of through choice, and instead of through creating what serves us. And so my realization, I realized that only a few months ago, my belief in that, and now the realization today was that even in my own changes, my own goals within my own life, when I feel the excitement to transform and to change the way that I'm being and the way that the transformation that I want to have, it can actually create an energy ripple in our world, and it can reach others who are going through something completely separate, or who have nothing to do with me and nothing to do with my transformation, but that energy of transformation can reach them. It creates a ripple, and energy does not just disappear, and that means that it is moving and going for at least to my knowledge, at least to my ability to my comprehension, going on forever. Where does that ripple go? And so any movement that I make towards upward and forward, towards transformation, towards truth, towards health, whether it's fitness, whether it's my journey, my spiritual journey, whether it's education-wise, whatever movement I make, whatever energy I produce that is transformative, can actually help the rest of the world, the rest of the people in this world, the rest of whatever you believe in, other souls that are surrounding us. It can actually move that energy along as a whole, that transformative energy. And that's the most beautiful thing I could ever imagine. And it actually gives me so much more drive within myself, within my own goals too. There's something greater that we're working towards as a whole. The moments that I have that are transformative, I have a greater desire to lean into, because it can actually help something bigger than just my own objectives. So back to what I was writing, the ripple of the transformation is the ultimate power and truth. And in my own transformation, in all areas of my life, as that ripple of energy in strength and raw ability reaches others and gives them a flicker of light or hope they may not even be aware of, there is a beauty in the byproduct of this as well, in that I have such a greater sense of drive and empowerment, knowing it is not only my life at stake. It is the time to break the cycles of laziness, of fatigue and lack of fitness, of sugar, sodium, and gluten, of passing by books without reading them, of submitting to the patriarchy, of rejecting our divine essence as a community and as individuals, of creating shame around sexuality and dismissing and rejecting the truth around the divine power therein, of old ways, of new ways based on fear. It is time to break the cycles and choose to create the ones that solely align with each individual's essence. It is time to teach this to our children and address the magic of awareness, to see that our habits and cycles may be chosen or dismissed rather than blindly and obediently followed. The world can transform. Every individual pushing towards a life, a future of their own, true choice. Even just the urge, those flickers of hope, they are producing an energy that combined will transform the world. We will live in a world without prejudice, where there is no fear of anger around race, religion, or gender, where the union of people is never made out of a need to be able to claim someone or to depend on someone, but it's simply made out of a peaceful and selfless realization when souls and life courses align. We will live in a world where women and men and all genders and ages celebrate, explore, and complement each other's poetic differences rather than trying to harness, mold, limit, and shame them. Illness will decrease, as studies have shown when there is less stress, higher hope, more support, and overall lighter atmosphere. Even cancer can be beat.
Your attention,
Miracles
please.
can happen.
TSA has limited the items that may be carried through a screening checkpoint. Passengers should check with their air
We
carrier
are
for
in
further
control of
information.
this. We can create this. It is not so far out of our reach that we cannot touch it and reel it one step at a time into our actual reality. When you feel a glimmer of hope, when you start towards a goal, you struggle and give up. Do not fool yourself into believing you don't care. It wasn't that big of a deal. No, you do care. That energy of hope, that spark of belief in your own ability to transform, it is the realest and most important and most key piece of life and piece of our experience as being. For the sake of our world, for the sake of the generations to come, for the sake of your own daily and long-term life satisfaction, lean into your experience of trying and wanting. Even when seeming failures occur, do not beat yourself up for that. Do not be ashamed for caring and trying. Having that drive, having that hope, it was not stupid to go for it. It was not stupid to ask for that cute girl's number who rejected you in front of all your friends. It was not stupid to start on that hike you got winded on in 10 minutes, turned around, and went home and ate cake. No, it wasn't stupid. It's important. It's important to feel that. It's important to lean into that spark, to try even if you fail. That energy, that ripple you're creating, it's going to transform the world.
The USO Center
We do not have to settle.
Members of the military,
Believe that spark before the fact was real. It was important. It was representative of the real possibility and awesome creation. Try again. Go through the unpleasant or uncomfortable emotions that arise with moments of doubt and failure. Just notice and dismiss. Do not dwell or despair. We are capable. We will never be doomed. We do not have to settle for the state of this world, for the current epidemic of shame, prejudice, obesity, depression, anxiety. We are capable. We are creators. We have choice. Choose to break the cycle. Choose to build something new. Choose transformation. Merry Christmas.